3 years later, the accused moved the High Court under Section 482 saying, how can I be sentenced to 18 years of imprisonment for basically the theft of electricity? The High Court dismissed the Section 482 petition saying, sorry, your conviction has attained finality. He eventually travelled to the Supreme Court and we had to interfere. I'm mentioning this not because we did something great, but because of the fact that there are numerous people who are unable to access their rights because of unawareness, who could be subjected to 18 years of imprisonment on a charge of stealing electricity wires. The Legal Services Authorities Act 1987 has sought to humanize the law and promote social justice through delivery of legal aid and legal service. It simplified our laws and legal procedures by making them empathetic to the plight of the weaker sections of the society, something which clearly emerged in the presentation by my colleague Justice Sanjeev Khanna. It has enjoined state institutions such as the police, jails and courts to become more responsive to the needs of the poor and the vulnerable. And it institutionalized Lok Adalats to provide effective relief to citizens. The legal service institutions were entrusted with the duty to deliver legal services at all levels of society. In recent decades, NALSA has made significant strides in making access to justice a reality by implementing comprehensive legal aid programs and using the state, district and taluka legal services authorities to provide legal representation, implement legal aid schemes, organize legal awareness camps and monitor the release of under-trial prisoners. In recent years, the district legal services authorities across the country have bridged the gap between citizens and the legal system and have emerged as the backbone of our legal services framework. Presently, we have 703 DLSAs functioning across India. Today, we have released the manual prepared by NALSA, which provide detailed guidelines to DLSAs for effective administration of legal aid and legal services. It is important that we institutionalize processes. It's important that the judicial institutions are not individual driven. We have to institutionalize what we adopt for the future. This manual will promote consistency in decision making and ensure uniformity in the functioning of DLSAs across India. I extend my congratulations to NALSA for taking the initiative to release the manual. In addition to the DLSAs, we have more than 2,300 taluka legal services authorities. In the coming years and months, we should focus our resources towards strengthening the functioning of the taluka authorities to provide an effective provision for the last mile delivery of legal services. While we celebrate the strides made by legal services institutions in broadening the horizons of access to justice, we must also be cognizant of the fact that many people in India are still deprived of free and quality legal services. We are a unique country. Out of 1.4, nearly 1.4 billion, 80% of the population in India is entitled to free legal aid. These are daunting figures. However, only a minuscule percentage of the population utilizes legal aid. According to a recent study in 2022, less than 8% of under-trial prisoners utilize legal aid and that they were entitled to. This negligible use of legal-sponsored institutions is largely a result of three factors. First, a lack of awareness about legal aid. Second, the difficulty in accessing legal aid and legal services. And third, the lack of confidence in state-sponsored legal aid and services. I will briefly dwell on each of these three thoughts. On the first issue, awareness among the public about their rights and entitlements. This is the first step towards empowerment. NALSA has developed detailed frameworks for spreading legal literacy and legal awareness to educate weaker sections of society, such as women, children, prisoners, senior citizens, persons with disability, and workers in the unorganized sector. In recent years, NALSA has carried out nationwide campaigns to reach out to people. However, citizens are still unaware about how to secure the services of legal aid. If they have to depend on a lawyer to secure information about the Legal Services Authority, then I ask myself if we have made the system accessible enough. I urge legal services institutions to be more proactive in bringing citizens within the fold of legal aid and services. One way of achieving this goal is to make effective use of social media to reach out to the target beneficiaries. The judiciary has been a poor communicator for the simple reason that we feel that we are not here to market ourselves. We are not marketing institutions. We need to use social media, which is the effective form of communication today. District and Taluka legal services authorities must also effectively utilize paralegal volunteers to reach out to people in remote areas. Legal services clinics perform the important function of strengthening the capacity of law students and spreading legal awareness among vulnerable sections. As of March 2023, about 11,711 legal services clinics are functioning across India, out of which 1,100 are located in colleges and universities. But we have more than 1,700 law colleges in India. DLSAs must be proactive and take positive steps to ensure that all law colleges functioning within their jurisdiction establish legal aid clinics. These clinics must take steps to actively engage with the community, understand their needs, and make them aware of their rights. On the second issue that I highlighted, about the difficulty in accessing legal services, religion, caste, and gender identity often contribute towards the marginalization of people within the legal system. Although our legal system is based on the principles of the rule of law and equal justice, we cannot shy away from the exclusionary nature of our legal system, especially for people who lack the necessary social and economic capital to navigate the legal maze with ease. A majority of under-trial prisoners in India are illiterate, poor, and belong to the marginalized sections of society. Prisoners, especially women, migrant workers, and persons who have lost contact with their families find it difficult to comply with bail conditions. Our endeavor must be to ensure that legal aid is continuously provided to prisoners during the trial process. It is in pursuit of this goal that NALSA has recently launched the Legal Aid Defense Council system. Under this system, lawyers are being engaged on a full-time basis to deal exclusively with legal aid work in criminal matters. Currently, more than 1,500 counsel have been appointed across 400 districts across India. In the coming months, we must aim to implement this scheme across all the districts in the country. I am reminded of an incident where a district bar association barred legal aid lawyers from practicing because the lawyers were not registered in the state. This incident should serve as a lesson that it is a responsibility of every one of us, judges, lawyers, paralegal volunteers, and even law students, to not create impediments in the delivery of legal services, but to contribute towards creating an inclusive and accessible legal system. Another area where we are making rapid strides is the use of technology in reducing barriers to accessing quality legal aid. I am pleased to note that our legal services institutions have adopted technology as a means to reach out to people. We have operationalized the Legal Services Management System portal to allow individuals to apply online for free legal aid. Similarly, we have also developed the Legal Aid Case Management System to enhance transparency in the management of legal aid cases. Legal services institutions can make use of the case management system to monitor the progress of legal aid cases. We have already implemented tele-law service to facilitate delivery of legal information by paralegal volunteers at common service centers. As we know, under the Digital India mission of the Government of India, common service centers have been established at the level of every Gram Panchayat. And it is important in our mission that NALSA, as well as the E-Committee of the Supreme Court, are engaging with the common service centers to provide legal services of every description at the level of the Gram Panchayat. In that sense, there is a merger of the mission of the Digital India initiative of the Union Government. The tele-law facility is available in 22 regional languages. During the COVID pandemic, women and individuals belonging to the marginalized groups made extensive use of tele-law services to receive legal advice and information on issues ranging from domestic violence to property disputes. As we know, women were at the receiving end of domestic violence during the years of the pandemic. I am optimistic that the use of technology to facilitate legal services, coupled with other initiatives such as the e-courts project, will expand access to justice, by reducing the costs of delivering legal services and providing people with free and reliable legal information. The third and the final reason for the underutilization of legal services is the lack of confidence in the services provided by legal services institutions. For people to trust legal aid, it must be competent and of a desired quality. Currently, more than 50,000 lawyers and 42,000 paralegal volunteers are providing legal aid at various levels across India. These lawyers and paralegal volunteers often serve as a bridge between citizens and legal service institutions. We need to further increase the capabilities of all lawyers and paralegal volunteers, encourage them to unlearn their social biases, and adequately incentivize their efforts to enable them to understand and address the legal problems of people. I would urge the legal service institutions to encourage more women and transgender persons to serve as lawyers and paralegal volunteers. Their presence will help the legal services institutions in reaching out to the women and transgender community, who are often less trusting of legal institutions and persons associated with it. We must also constantly evaluate and monitor the delivery of legal services to help identify the gaps in the delivery of legal services to people. In this endeavor, NALSA has operationalized under-trial review committees across all districts in India to periodically monitor delivery of legal aid to under-trial prisoners. Through such initiatives, we need to guarantee that no person is left behind in their pursuit of access to justice. Another reason why many citizens in India distrust legal institutions is complex legal processes and judicial delay. To tackle this problem, legal services institutions should encourage people to use alternative dispute resolution mechanisms to settle their disputes. By providing quick and effective remedies, ADR mechanisms can help preserve the confidence of people in the justice delivery system. In this year, until June alone, the National Lok Adalat has successfully disposed of more than 3.6 crore cases. Undoubtedly, ADR mechanisms play an important role in providing equal access to justice. There are a large number of High Court Chief Justices present here. There is one aspect which I must emphasize, which is the need for us to re-engineer our rules. Our rules were designed when summons were served on horseback and camels. Those rules are not relevant for the times in which we live. So we have to re-engineer our rules, whether it is in the form of our civil manuals, the criminal manuals, to make them more relevant to our times, flexible, in ease of application. Before I conclude, let me just highlight one facet. Our judiciary is generally known by the decisions which we deliver, or sometimes the decisions which we don't. We are also known by the delays in the judicial process. But very little is known about the work which is done in the back offices of the Indian judiciary. And it is important that we highlight the work which is done in the back offices of the Indian judiciary as well, because that is the spine of our judiciary. So let me give you just a few statistics before I bore you for the evening. The e-TAL website, which is really the central functioning point of the e-court services, recorded 2.45 billion transactions, billion, I'm not saying million, billion transactions in 2020, 3.20 billion e-transactions in 2021, 3.26 billion transactions in 2022, and over 1.3 billion transactions between 1st of January 23 to 27th of June 2023. E-court services have reached out to 13.91 billion e-transactions since the inauguration of the website in March 2013. In 2023 alone, up to 27th of June 23, for which I have data, 63.8 million text messages, SMSs, were sent to citizens as part of our e-court services at the rate of 3,60,000 per day. More than 15 million downloads have taken place on our mobile app as of 26 June 2023. We have an automated emailing service which we provide to citizens. In 2023, up to 27th of June 2023, 61.3 million emails have been sent to litigants across India at the average daily rate of 3,46,000. These are the figures of the work which is going on in the Indian judiciary, which is never noticed when people speak about delays in the judicial process. I think it's important that we market ourselves for the nation to know the kind of work which is being done in order to understand the seriousness with which the common citizens' problems are attended to by the legal institutions within the country. Thus, in conclusion, I would like to thank all the office bearers, members, lawyers, paralegal volunteers for striving to make the constitutional goal of social justice a reality. But we still have a lot of work cut out for us to ensure that opportunities of securing justice are equally available to every individual in our society. We still face many institutional and societal challenges in reaching out to people and providing them competent legal aid. I'm sure that these and many such similar issues will be a subject matter of discussion for the technical sessions which are scheduled tomorrow. I'm confident that we will make a genuine effort to overcome these challenges with vision, resolve, innovation, and dedication. And what better example can we have of vision, resolve, innovation, and dedication than this galaxy of talent from across the country, which is present here today in Srinagar as part of this unique social initiative of Nalsa.